perception. Okay, this is part 2 of the video. I didn't know it was going to be this long. This is part 2 of the video. It's actually cutting over, so I got to keep it going. So this is part 2. But the eternal is not accessible to sensory perception. Nevertheless, the ways to the perception of the eternal are open for man. He can develop forces dormant in him so that he can recognize the eternal. Man can penetrate the eternal origins of the things which vanish with time. A man broadens his power of cognition in this way if he is no longer limited to external evidence where knowledge of the past is concerned. Okay, you don't have to, but if you around it, you actually pull the information and make it more viable, so you can pull the time of what it was around, and you can actually use it for yourself. Is pretty much what it means. Then he can see like I was just explaining, he can see in events what is not perceptible to the senses. That part which time cannot destroy. Okay, people change shit. History can be changed, but you can always access it through what? Your Akashic memory. It is a fact that this history is written in other characters than. It is a fact that this history is written in other characters that is ordinary history. In Gnosis, we just said about the Gnostics or the Hermetic. It's the same thing. The Gnosis, that means to know. The Gnosis and the Theosophy. That's just like you have the Theosophic Society is just a way of thinking or information. It is called the Akasha Chronicle. Who cannot yet convince himself of the reality of a separate spiritual world through his own experience. His or her experience is not just looking at it as a male perspective. So I just want the melanated sisters out there, is for you too. But you are actually more, you are more of a seer than actual males. We have to. That's why we said the right and left brain. Okay, in the first video, the initiate easily appears to be a visionary, if not something worse. They'll look at you as crazy. Okay, last page. Those initiated into the reading of such a living script can look back into a much more remote past than is represented by external history, and on the basis of direct spiritual perception. This perception also can see in an inexact, oblique, wrong manner. Sometimes you'll be off, but if you a highly melanated person, the ancestors will put certain books or information around you to make sure you have the information. Then you can actually see it inside your mind. Okay, this is extremely important. Oh, black dot. The black dot in 12 disciples, 12 zodiacal. And then the one in the center is what? Is you, your mind. That's what it looks like, higher and your lower. That's what it looks like inside your mind. The black dot, if you have high proportion of melanin. Okay, back to the work. But the dependability of observation. Okay, remember we were just talking about the baby. Well, it was in video number 1, part 1. The baby had his thumb in his mouth, and it said what? And it says what? I got 2 minutes left. It says silence. Okay, silence. If he is pushing up his lower lip, he emphasizes silence. So the dependability of observation is much greater here than in the external world of the senses. Such a history and prehistory does in fact exist in all mystery schools. This part of the Earth's surface was once land. And we're talking about what? Atlantis. The Atlantean continent, which was everything combined to one and broke apart, still existed between America and Europe. This part of our Earth's surface was once land. Today, this forms the floor of the Atlantic Ocean. I find it kind of crazy that what Nipsey Hussle was signed to Atlantic Records. All right, but Rudolph Steiner has a book called Atlantis and Lemuria, or you can go to In the Story of Atlantis and Lost Lemuria by W. Scott Elliott. And that's peace. Only got a minute left. I say, all melanated people, you can access this. You get around this information much as you can. You don't have to get the exact books I get, or you can if you want to, and you can access it yourself, and certain things will start opening up for you. And what's around you is just an illusion, and everything around you will start waking up for you. Peace. I say peace.